You want to know why I'm not having an aneurysm over people losing their food stamps on November 1st? Here's why.
Come grocery shop because it go by faster.
I should not have to pay to feed you and your 9 children. I'll be the selfish one. My kid comes first in my eyes, not you.
I would take a third job. I have 2 jobs. I would take a third job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have?
And coming for black women, no. You just make yourself look stupid. She got SNAP, EBT, and a degree, huh?
Alright, y'all, Katt Williams is trending again, but this time it's not because he's exposing the industry or roasting another comedian. Instead, he's firing back at a group of white Karens who are celebrating the fact that black women are losing access to food stamps. Ever since the news broke about Trump cutting federal food aid, social media has been flooded with videos of Karens saying things like, "Good, get a job. I'm tired of paying for your kids," almost always paired with clips of black women talking about food assistance.
I want to see nobody on here complaining about food stamps that was posting beach pictures and new tattoos all summer, okay? Thanks.
But here's the real truth about food aid benefits, something these Karens clearly don't understand. First of all, the majority of SNAP recipients are actually white. And beyond that, food insecurity isn't limited to people on SNAP, it's a nationwide issue. The program supports millions of Americans across racial and economic lines, including seniors, children, people with disabilities, veterans, and working families who simply don't earn enough to cover both groceries and rent. So let's break down what's really going on, why black families are once again being unfairly targeted, and why Katt Williams is speaking out.
1 in 8 Americans rely on SNAP benefits, and tonight there is mounting worry for them. They might not
here's
be
what's
able
really
to
going
afford
on.
Food,
starting in November
running out 1 week
2025,
from
millions
today.
of Americans are set to lose their SNAP benefits, what most people know as food stamps. Why? Because the federal government is still in a shutdown, and Congress hasn't approved funding for the program. The U.S. Department of Agriculture claims they legally can't issue benefits for November without that approval, but that's not entirely true. What Republicans aren't telling people is that they can legally use emergency funds to keep SNAP running, even during a shutdown. They're just choosing not to. In fact, the USDA's official shutdown plan clearly states that funding for program operations is guaranteed, even in a government shutdown. Now, let's talk about what that means in the real world, because no one in Congress, Democrat or Republican, is going to be the one going hungry this holiday season. SNAP currently supports about 42 million Americans, roughly 1 in 8 people across the country, and most of those receiving benefits are children. Here's another thing most people don't realize: food insecurity isn't just a personal issue. It's a national crisis that impacts everyone. Even if you don't receive SNAP benefits yourself. When millions of Americans can't afford enough food, the effects ripple through the entire economy.
Don't these people on SNAP just work? I don't understand. My guy, most of the people who are on SNAP are children. According to 2023 fiscal analysis, it made up 39% of the people on SNAP. That's 12 million children.
Kids who go hungry struggle in school, which hurts future productivity in the workforce. Adults without proper nutrition are more likely to get sick, driving up healthcare costs for everyone. Local businesses lose revenue when families can't spend on groceries, forcing prices higher across the board. Meanwhile, food banks are stretched thin trying to fill the gap, and it's not like this country lacks resources to fix the problem. Right now, 47.4 million Americans, including 13.8 million children, are food insecure. At the same time, 92 billionaires in the US hold a combined wealth of $6.8 trillion. So clearly, this isn't about scarcity, it's about the ever-widening gap in wealth. The US is one of the richest nations on Earth, ranking first in total GDP and 7th in GDP per capita. Yet when it comes to food security, America ranks only 22nd among developed countries. According to the USDA's latest report, 33.8 million Americans lacked reliable access to food. That's about 13.5 million, or 10.2% of all US households, in 2021.
Literally stand on 2nd Avenue at 4 o'clock in the morning and go around behind the restaurants and wait for the bakeries to deliver bread. When you're that hungry to steal bread from the restaurants behind the stores, you're hungry.
And once again, let's be clear, SNAP serves a racially and economically diverse group of people. According to the Food Research and Action Center, around 37% of SNAP recipients are white, 26% are black, and the rest are Hispanic. Asian, Native American, or multiracial. But here's where things get ugly. When you see those so-called viral videos of someone complaining about losing their food stamps, 9 times out of 10 it's not even real. Most of them are AI-generated clips, often using a fake black woman's face or voice. Because the creators know it'll spark outrage and feed harmful stereotypes. It's digital manipulation designed to distract and divide, making people angry at each other instead of at the system that's actually responsible.
They cutting our food stamps off next week. And that's the only way I've been able to keep the kids fed and the lights on. Y'all see that sign behind me? If they really take it, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do but go in there and grab what we need. People keep telling me to go apply.
Completely ignoring the fact that most recipients are poor
AI-generated
white.
videos that's currently making the rounds online. And it's not just one, there are millions more like it, spreading every single day. This is exactly why the social media climate has become so toxic. You've got these so-called white Karens online, literally celebrating that black women are losing food stamps, while completely ignoring the truth that the majority of people receiving SNAP benefits are actually poor white Americans. One woman on TikTok even went viral for posting a tone-deaf rant about food stamps. But the backlash was so brutal in the comments that she ended up deleting the video altogether.
Messages for all the people that are complaining that they're not getting their food stamps for November. What did you do with October's food stamp money? What did you do? Did you stock up on pantry items and try to shop smartly? Or did you just go buy a bunch of processed garbage? By the way, you can thank the Democrats for the government being shut down and your benefits not coming through for November. Looks like you're going to be going to the food pantry for your Thanksgiving meal. I know a lot of food pantries hand out turkeys for Thanksgiving. All the sides and trimmings too. Lots of food pantries. Better figure it out. I'm sick of hearing you complain, honestly. You ever have this as a meal? I'm eating peanut butter and butter on toast. It's absolutely delicious. You should try it. And not for nothing, I saw this woman who said she was getting $1,100 a month in food stamps. Do you know how long I can make $1,100 in food stamps last in this house? There's 2 of us, but I do have my son over every once in a while, or my daughters over once in a while to eat. I feed them too, and we always got food in our house, no matter what. I would take a 3rd job. I have 2 jobs. I would take a 3rd job if I had to, just to make sure my kids ate. What are you doing for your kids besides coming on the internet and bitching that you don't have any money in your food stamps account?
Well, I don't know, Sarah Meth. Perhaps they spent October's food stamps in October? Like, what the? George Bush, you will pay for your crimes because these children should have been left behind, but unfortunately, they weren't. And now they're adults with access to the internet and total use of free will. I'm gonna start calling this the J-Lo theory. Whenever you give people full unmonitored access to something, whether it be a mic, a phone, social media, whatever it is, and total use of free will, they will use that thing regardless of if it sounds good or if it makes a lick of sense. This is what Trump means when he says smart people don't like me, because what do you mean she made this video in regard to November food stamps, asking what people did with their October food stamps? If Johnny had 5 apples.
Now, the positive side of social media is that there are still people out there trying to set the record straight. Journalists like Touré are using their platforms to educate the public, reminding everyone that cuts to food aid don't just hurt SNAP recipients, they impact the entire nation. Whether or not you personally receive benefits, everyone feels the effects when millions lose access to basic food support.
Government assistance that brings out the racism in people. Most SNAP recipients are white women. Tree loves to give the white working class a sense of superiority over black people. Every dollar spent in the SNAP program leads to $1.50 returning to the economy. It also creates consumers out of people. That helps everybody who works in the store, everybody who delivers to that store, everybody who relies on that store. Because if you subtract a significant portion of that store's consumers, a significant portion of the consumers to the economy who happen to be working class people who are getting their money from SNAP, then the store will have to raise its prices. If you remove a bunch of consumers, the store will have to raise its prices. And that will make life harder for you, white lady. I know you think that black woman is just taking from you, but what she is inadvertently doing.
D.L. Hughley also clapped back at MAGA supporters, calling them out for spreading lies and ignorance online. He didn't hold back, criticizing those who keep pushing false narratives that the SNAP cuts only target black people, when in reality, these changes will impact millions of Americans across all backgrounds.
So it isn't just hurting the people you want. More of you, more of his supporters, more people that wanted him to win, more people that are supportive of him will be hurt than other people. That word disproportionately ain't gonna matter when you're freezing and cold. As a matter of fact, if the heating subsidies are not renewed, and if SNAP benefits out there around Thanksgiving, there won't have been this many cold and hungry white people since the Pilgrims landed here. Since Plymouth Rock. And this time, ain't gonna be no Indians to bail you out.
And then there's Katt Williams, who didn't stay quiet either. He fired back at the Karens mocking black women for using food stamps, and of course, he couldn't resist slipping in a few jokes while doing it. But beneath the humor, Katt made a serious point, reminding everyone that black women aren't the ones who'll be hit the hardest when food aid gets slashed.
Coming for black women, no. You just make yourself look stupid. The black woman is the most educated person in the United States of America by 27%, bitch. She got SNAP, EBT, and a degree, huh?
And
also,
you ever
isn't
notice
it
how these
weird
new
that
channels
when
always
talking
seem
about
to interview
issues like
only black people? That right there tells you everything. This whole food stamp debate isn't really about policy, it's about how racism manipulates the conversation. It makes people see enemies where there should be allies, turning working class communities against each other. And trust me, that's not an accident. Those AI-generated videos of black women complaining about food stamps? They're meant to spark division, it's psychological warfare. Plain and simple. For instance, conservative lawyer Mike Davis, who's rumored to be on Trump's shortlist for Attorney General, recently tweeted something disgusting. He said, "We should only help people who can't help themselves. It's outrageous that 40 million people get food stamps. Get off your fat ghetto ass, get a job, stop reproducing, and change your culture. Stop giving food stamps to immigrants. We don't want you here if you won't work." Now, who do you think he's really talking about when he says, fat ghetto ass, or change your culture? We all know the answer. They like to toss around the word immigrant as a distraction, but make no mistake, he's targeting American citizens, specifically black Americans. And the irony? The same people saying, stop reproducing, usually call themselves pro-life. You really can't make this stuff up. So to wrap this up, I'll leave you with a post from an ex-user who summed it up perfectly. Let November roll around. And when those poor white folks don't get their SNAP checks, we'll see how hungry you have to be before you stop being racist. So what do you think? Is this just bad management, or a deliberate plan to divide people, fuel racism, and once again blame black communities for a crisis that, statistically, hurts white Americans the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.